Hello, this is Miss G, and welcome to the third installment of the Drawing a Character series, which should show you some steps on how to draw certain characters. Today we are drawing a guy called Toxic Lemonade or Limeade, and he's actually a Cookie Run character. As always, when we start drawing the face of a character, we want to start with a circle, and then put that symmetry line in there. Then, as I always do, I'm going to put those little lines toward the edge of the circle to make the start of the jawline. Now, Mr. Toxic Lemonade here actually has a longer face, so we're going to do almost a long triangle type shape, but then actually make it a trapezoid towards the bottom of the chin. Now I'm going to put the eye lines in there, just for reference on where to put the eyes. Mr. Toxic Lemonade, or TL as I'm going to call him now, actually has a pretty easy eye shape. He just has a diamond for an eye, basically. For this episode, you're actually going to see me struggle with drawing the eyes. Don't know why I was having such a struggle this day drawing eyes, but that's what we're doing. TL also has a very interesting feature with him, which is he has a bump in his nose. So you're going to see me draw that bump from a front view here in a second. His ears are pointed like how Pyrus's were, but obviously we got the same ear rules, so keep the start of the top of the ear towards the top of your eye, and the start of the bottom of the ear towards the bottom of the eye line. TL also has these little bat wings that come from behind his ear, so you're going to do like a couple different crescent shapes like I'm doing here, and then make the little bat wings. Obviously, I'm putting some ovals in for the irises, and then I couldn't figure out what to do for his mouth for a little bit, so you're going to see me struggle with that for a bit. Again, another character that has sharp teeth. I don't know why. They're just fun to draw, I suppose. TL also has some pretty thick eyebrows, so make sure you get those thick eyebrows in there. TL also has some weird hair going on, so actually make a little line that is horizontal, because he has a bit of a curtain bang going on, but not really, and honestly, it's just better if you watch it than me to explain it. Hair that goes in front of the ear is a little different than what I've done before, So if you know the worms on a string type of look, that's what we're going for here. Unlike his bangs, TL actually does have a part up top, and he has some pretty interesting hair. Unlike the others before him, he's not going to have wave shapes, he's going to have more blocky and triangular shapes in his hair. I'm going to start putting in his neck again here. Like the other two that we've done before, we're going to start the neck over by where the start of the jawline is. So that's what I'm doing. And then I just did something that could be considered his shoulders, but really it's just nothing at all. TL also has differently shaped pupils. One is going to be a diamond shape while the other is just the regular oval shape. Now we're getting into those curtain bang type things, and honestly they act a little bit more like antennas for this character. One is kind of a bracket type shape, but just thick, and the other is going to be a lightning bolt or a scribble type shape. He also has some lightning bolt flyaway hairs towards the start or the part of his hair. Turning the opacity down of the rough sketch. Obviously if you're doing traditional, you just want to make a very light sketch at first. And now I'm going in with black to do the line art for this character. Close the eyes just a little bit to make him look not as crazy. Later on I also give him some eyelashes, which are again a lot of triangular shapes. Unlike Pyrus, I'm not actually putting an emphasis on the eyelashes for this character. So the little bit of hair that does go over his one eye, that's going to take priority, so I erased a bit of the eyelash and the eye in this part. You can see here that I actually moved in the little worm on a string hair pieces that go in front of the ear in a little bit, just so it frames his face a little bit better. I also changed the mouth shape a little bit here because I was having trouble with it, and I made it a lot more simple. So just make it like you're making a crescent, but then make the sides of the crescent straight. As you can see, I also made the little bat wings that go by the ears for this character, just a little bit larger because otherwise they would have been covered up by the hair. I was trying to figure out what was not looking right about this character, then I realized that I forgot his stubble. So don't forget his stubble. And it's literally just lines that go on the chin. Then he's got like a bit of a tight-fitting shirt that goes up towards the neck. And then there's a little design towards the neck that's like an upside down crown. And then towards that largest part of the crown and towards his chest, there's gonna be a diamond type shape. I don't draw all of it because I wasn't going that far down with this character's drawing. But that is there. The guy has some long hair, so I'm just extending that down to where his shoulders would be, and then giving it a little bit spike at the end, just for visual interest. Also giving TL a little bit of a crown that he has in the reference image I'm using. We're finally going into color, and you can see that I moved the reference image just a little bit. That way I could see a little bit better. So TL actually has a darker skin tone as well. And then I'm just going in and fixing some of my lines because my fill tool was being difficult. For my traditional people, I'm going in and putting lime green everywhere on the hair, but you should note that the front bangs, or the curtain bangs, or the little antenna things, whatever you want to call them, those will actually stay white, and then a lot of the back of the hair is going to be black. So maybe don't color those areas, maybe just color the top of his hair for now. So you can see that I actually messed with the white a little bit because I made it more of an off-white. Traditional people, you do not have to worry about getting this off-white color exactly the same. If you just want to keep the white just the white of the paper, that is a-okay. Finally going in with the black parts of the hair, because of course I had to make this character's design as difficult as possible. So 2 of those worm on a string portions are going to be black, usually the ones that are farther from the front of the face. Then the back of the hair also gets some black as you are being shown here. I'm color picking a pretty dark, almost a forest green for the bat wings, because that's how it is in the reference photo. I believe a similar color also gets used for the eye, though I believe it's a little bit more saturated than the bat wings. In a bit here, you'll also see me color pick that darker gray or that black again, because the eyes are also different colors, and the scleras, which is usually the white part of the eye, are different colors too. So one eye is actually going to have a black sclera, while the other one will have a white one. color picking a lemon yellow. Haha, did you see what I did there with the character name? Haha. Anyway, lemon yellow for the eye that has the black on it, and then for this little crown design on his shirt. Now here I'm color picking a in-between green from the shirt of the reference photo. It's a more vibrant green than the dark green that we used for the bat wings, but it's obviously a darker green than the lime green that we used for the hair. And that's going to be used for the other eye and the shirt. You can see I'm using some color picking to get the crown and those little TV antennas on the top of his head to look fine. And then we finally have a finished drawing of Mr. Toxic Lemonade. If you actually decided to draw this guy all the way through, I applaud you for it. And then of course, if you want more art content, please subscribe.